Joe Phantomaniacs! I am running out of battery life because I just had an epic unboxing of the Mezco Roadblock. Please check that one out. So, with this one, I've already reviewed the Trubble Bubble and the Tele-Viper. This is just the Python Patrol version, which I'm very excited about, by the way. But I'm not going to get super deep with this one because we've already seen them. I just want to get into the deco and how they look. So let's open it up and check and see. This came from Target. Target delivered this and my Officer and my Copperhead very successfully. No problems with the pre-order. Everything went well. I'm happy. I love Python Patrol. I love Tiger Force, and that is not how I felt about them when I was younger. Now, granted, I was out of Joe by the time either of those was a thing. But, you know, continuing on with my Joe fandom later in life, I was aware of them and just didn't like the garish colors. Now, I never had, a lot of people will say, you know, even when I was a kid, and you'll note by the mocking tone in my voice how much credibility I give this statement. Even when I was a kid, I recognized these as the cheap repaints they were. I see that in places, and I just kind of think to myself, really, pal? Really? Even as a kid? But I do understand people who are like, well, these are ugly and I don't want them. Because that's how I felt, you know, years after they actually happened. I guess my first discovery of Tiger Force and Python Patrol was probably in the early 2000s when they were doing the Toys R Us multi-packs of them. I was collecting then. I got out of Joe in 87. Although technically it was 88 because I did buy the Storm Shadow version 2 just because I had to have it. But I got back into Joe in 97, 10 years later. Well, you know what? That's not even true because I experimented with Sergeant Savage. I played around with G.I. Joe Extreme. I bought like one of those just because it was G.I. Joe and I couldn't resist it, but I absolutely hated it. But like full bore, all in back into Joe was 97 for me with the Stars and Stripes pack, which, yes, I know it's terrible. But at the time, I was just happy to have my Joes back. Like, I wasn't thinking, well, these aren't right, or they're reusing all these parts, or, you know, all the complaints, all the correct, by the way, complaints that people have about that Stars and Stripes Forever pack, which, by the way, we reviewed on the Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast. I just was thrilled to have O-Ring Joes back, which, to my knowledge back then, nobody I knew was calling them O-Ring Joes. They were just, this is G.I. Joe that I grew up with. This is what it should look like. All right, so, man, that dark dome is awesome. The Python Patrol paint job looks great. The yellow, the red, the silver. Oh, look at the eyes. I hadn't even noticed this in the online images. As I say quite frequently, I don't look too closely at the images online. One, because they're often not very good. And two, because I want to discover this stuff when I'm opening it, when I'm doing the unboxing. Look at the screen there. That's really cool. You know, I want to be discovering these things as part of my process of opening the thing up. So I don't look too closely. I don't necessarily know exactly what I'm getting when I order. I just knew I wanted a Python Patrol Trubble Bubble. Like, that was enough for me. Look at all of the painted details. Let's do a little zoom here. All of that painted, this is phenomenal, you guys. Like, seriously, don't undersell how impressive the deco on this thing is, and on the original. But this is toy art. Get your readout up here on the front. Now, I know on the original, the tabs didn't slot into place all the way. Oh gosh, it almost seems like it might be worse on this one. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Oh, look at that. They pop in flush. On my original Trubble Bubble, one of the sides, it's like it's like that. It's not terrible. I mean, sure, it should be better, but it didn't bug me that much. But this one clips all the way down. Everything looks great. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. It's just fun. Okay, let's set that off to the side for the time being. Take a look at our Python Patrol Tele-Viper, whose arm just popped right out. That's wild. But also popped right back in, and seems a little more... Maybe it wasn't assembled all the way. Man, that doesn't want to bend, though. Oh, no, look at that. It came right back out. Ugh. And it does not want to articulate. That's a little disappointing. We'll go ahead and mess around with the rest of the articulation while we've got it out of the socket. Check out this awesome wrist readout. That's so cool. Gloves look really good. I'm sure these are used from somebody else. Maybe an officer, not a Viper. Which, you know, it's fine. Doesn't bother me a bit. Get both of those elbow joints working. Everything seems good there. This... I don't want to put a big dent in my... Hang on just a second. Let me try to use a little finesse. Oh, man, that thing does not want to move. Definitely going to have to heat that up. So let's try and plug that back in. This is... So, to be clear, and we're going to talk about this on Audible... Well, I guess we already talked about this on the most recent Audible Interlude. We're going to talk about the difference between design problems and production problems. Because they are different. They are completely different. Look at, if you can see in the joint there, it's just not seating all the way. I wonder if I need to heat this and then plug this back in. Because this is not... I thought this went in, but you can see it's not all the way in. I'm going to heat this up. Oh, gosh, I guess I got to do it now. I hope my phone doesn't die. All right, I heated up the socket and I heated up the arm. So... hopefully that'll plug in a little more securely, which, yep, that just, you can see there's no more open space there. That definitely slid home. And then hopefully we can get this, you know, I probably should have done this while the arm was still out, huh? There we go. Boy, that's making some really unpleasant noises, isn't it? I apologize, everybody, for that. All right. Well, he can't put his arm all the way down anyway because of that vest. Man. That's tough. What is yellow plastic, like particularly rigid this time of year or something? What's going on here? And this is where the butterfly joints almost kind of annoy me. And I understand we need them for the range for, you know, military figures. Oh, there we go. But it makes it harder to articulate that shoulder hinge because the stupid butterfly joint keeps moving around. But I guess if you put it there, look at that, put it directly up. Man, what a process. I did not want this review to take this long. But when you run into a potential quality issue like that, you kind of have to get a little deeper into it. Okay, moving right along. Double jointed knees, everything. And his legs are not gummy. The legs feel pretty nice. I hope that was audible. I hope you guys heard that joint crack. It's mobile now. So his legs feel good. It's his arms that are a little on the gummy side. As far as just the design of this guy, again, those colors, that bright yellow, the gray with the little splashes of red. You got to move that belt down into place. And then that Python cross-hatching. It just looks cool. I do not have an original Python Patrol Tele-Viper. To be honest, off the top of my head, I can't even promise that that was a real thing. It was, right? There were Python Patrol Tele-Vipers for sure. But again, that was after my time, and I haven't made my way up to getting any... I don't have any original Python Patrol stuff yet. I've got a couple of Tiger Force things that I got for the right price. Nice tampo on the shoulder. Get a little smudge here. That's probably going to come right off. Yeah, so you can already see that coming off. I found some Tiger Force stuff that I couldn't resist at Joe Fest, but I haven't bought any original Python Patrol yet, so I don't have any reference for that. But this is great. This is a great, different Tele-Viper. I like it. Let's check out the accessories, because as I said, already spent more time than I intended with this review. This was supposed to be just a quick look at a repaint, and it has turned into yet another epic review quest. We got our standard bag. Look, there's a little more cardboard. Well, I don't know. I think this was in the original one. I felt like there was more cardboard support in this one. So we've got our Tele-Viper engines, which are beautiful. I love that they're black and not red. It just makes the whole thing look that much cooler. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Just beautiful. The fins with the... Oh, look at this. The stabilizer's black. The fins are red, yellow. This is gorgeous. I want another one, but I'm going to wait for them to go on clearance. If I found those Trubble bubbles on clearance for, they're $45, which by the way is $10 cheaper than the standard flight pod for some reason. Hasbro claims that Target made a mistake. Personally, and look, I have nothing to back this up whatsoever. Personally, I think that was supposed to be the price, and Hasbro decided to jack it up to $55. But I don't know. I have no basis for that. And to be honest, if it is true, $25 for this, $30 for this, seems reasonable to me. Well, okay, I take that back. $25 for classified figures is more than I want to pay, but that's what they cost, and there's no way around it. So that leaves this at $30, and I think that is reasonable. I hope the dog bones... Oh man, I'm going to have to heat this up too, aren't I? Oh gosh. I hope the dog bones on this one stay on a little better than they did on the original. Because on the original, when you went to when you went to take the missiles off, the dog bone came off too, and it's really annoying. Okay. They seem like... No, I think it's going to be the same thing. I need to just glue them. I said in the review... I said in my review of the original classified flight pod that I was just going to glue those on because I'm never going to have a situation where I don't want them on there. Yeah, see? I need to just glue them. Who cares? This is how I want this to look. I am not a toy photographer. I'm not going to have instances of wanting these to be launched. Look at just the nice detail on these. Just look really cool. And, you know, I don't think I noticed this on the original. I think the yellow plastic makes it more apparent. But check this out. Oh, maybe not. There is a port in the back. Oh, this is making me nervous. It didn't work. Wow, so there's a port in the back of that. See, look at this thing just falling off. but the effect isn't going into it. I wonder if a smaller one would work. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. How great is that? I don't think I even noticed that on the first flight pod. How cool is that? And then it's the same. I did notice this. It's the same thing on the blaster. So that's cool as well. Okay, I'm going to heat that up, worry about it later. Look, this plugs onto this, whatever. Now let's take a look. We've got 2 alternate portraits for our pilot. We've got a Caucasian and we've got a fully helmeted version. I don't know which one of these I'm going with. I ended up buying an extra officer for my other Trubble, and it took a lot of kit bash stuff, but I put the other Tele-Viper helmeted head on an officer body with a couple of alterations, and that's my flight pod pilot now. Because I just wanted to have a Tele-Viper just out and separate. So our backpack plugs in really nicely. You've got the storage for his blaster. His blaster is bent. I'm going to have to heat that up. That's not terrible, but it is bent a little bit. And it's kind of a rigid, not rigid, it's not rubbery. It's just softer plastic than it should be to retain the shape. I still want somebody to make a translucent piece to plug in here, or mirrored piece, one or the other. So yeah, he's great. I like the black backpack with the red hose. Looks good. And then finally, we've got the mine that I still have not seen a convincing argument of where this is supposed to be placed on the flight pod. Oh my gosh. I can't get that open. That panel opens. Whatever. Some people have stuck it behind the gun, which I think looks terrible and lets it not land. I don't know. Whatever. It's there. There it is. So, you guys, thank you for bearing with me. My phone is literally about to die. I just got the 20% warning, so I got to wrap this thing up. But I love this. It's a great alternate repaint of an already great vehicle. When they go on clearance, I will buy as many as I can for, if it's 25. Look, if it's 25, I'll buy a ton of them. I just love it. I think it looks great. So, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. Come back for more, not just G.I. Joe reviews, but all kinds of other toy lines. My best of 2023 is going to be coming up very soon now. And there you go. Until next time, Cobra.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.